we got athletes in the league right now. We got artists going up. We got people that just do random shit like Raymonte and shit like that. People just going up.
Yeah, Minnesota going up.
Hell yeah, that shit a blessing.
Welcome to a new Waterwave TV interview. We got the one and only Jack Bentley in the building. Long
Yes,
time
sir.
coming.
Yes, sir.
Surprised we never did an interview in the past.
Yeah, man. Definitely a long time coming for sure.
2023, basically 2024. You made it on the channel. You're a name that I've been hearing of a lot ever since I started Waterwave. I think you've just been like a staple in the community, which I guess kind of leads into my first question is like, were you born and raised in Minnesota?
Yeah, St. Paul. I grew up around like the Maryland area. I went to Crossroads Elementary, and then I went to like Roseville for middle and high school. The middle school over there on Rice, and high school on County B2 and shit. So always been in the St. Paul area my whole life. And then I just recently bought a crib out in Minneapolis, so now I switched sides and checking out the other part of the Twin Cities. But I'm fucking with it. But I'm definitely a Twin Cities native for sure.
From your perspective, what is it like growing up in St. Paul, or I guess the Twin Cities, if you bounced around a little bit, different schools?
I mean, I feel like St. Paul and Minneapolis are definitely two different places, and I was mostly St. Paul area. I didn't really venture out to Minneapolis when I was younger unless it came to like basketball tournaments and shit like that. But St. Paul is just like, I don't know, it feels like a small town, but it's not. I guess when I was growing up, like I was just taking the bus or the train everywhere and just doing everything on foot or on bike. And I was comfortable, but I know some people that feel like St. Paul is scary and dirty and shit like that, but I didn't realize that growing up. I was just living my life.
Yeah, I think when you're a kid, you're kind of, you don't really care, or like you're blind to that type of stuff.
Hell yeah,
like
God.
The real,
You
like,
just
scary things.
You just in your environment. I definitely been in some situations where it was fucked up. I definitely got my young ass robbed walking down the wrong street and shit like that, but you know, you live and learn. And then after that happens once, you don't do that shit again.
Don't put on that street again. Okay. You mentioned basketball. Was like hooping, were you a hooper in school?
Yeah, that was really that's really how I met everybody. I feel like that's probably where you might have heard my name first and didn't realize it. Like I'm friends with Isaiah. My god brother Tenzin, you know, I think you know Tenzin. They grew up together, and I really been around because of hooping. I was playing for Sizzle and then the Minnesota Knights, and like that's how I know Chet and Jalen just growing up and hooping with them. They was on the 17U Elite though. I wasn't on the Elite. They got that shit for sure.
I wonder if we ever played. I played on. I guess I graduated high school in 2017.
Oh, 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
So you're younger than me. I almost thought that you were like my age or older.
Yeah, nah, I'm a young, and a lot of people don't really realize that about me. I just turned 22 in August.
Okay. I played on Minnesota Slam.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard of them.
They weren't around for a super long time.
Nah, I remember that name though for sure.
But yeah, I played on them out of Mankato, is where they were stationed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that where you from? Cato?
Yeah.
That's where my grandparents from. That's where my mom from.
It's a smooth place to grow up and live, but you can get trapped there real easily.
Hell yeah.
Emotions and not getting out and exploring the world.
I bet.
So you're hooping. Did you always kind of have like music in your mind, like going through school, or?
I mean, I always loved music, but I never saw me making music. Basically, my story go like I got kicked out of my mom's house at 17 for selling weed when I shouldn't be, basically, and then that turned into me living with some homies and shit, and I'm just chilling, bored, make a couple songs. Some people tell me like, I actually fuck with this, you got some potential. I kept going for a little bit, then basically like when everybody started taking me serious and when I started taking myself serious is when I did that shit with Quin. And then after that, I feel like I just became an established artist.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, dang, that gives me a whole new perspective, I guess, on your music career, knowing that you're only 22 now.
Yeah.
For some reason I was thinking you like 28, 29.
Nah.
Like, cause you just like, cause ever since like I've been doing Waterwave, people have like been mentioning your name, or like you've done a show with an artist that I've like worked with or something. So I guess that that definitely gives me a whole new perception.
Yeah, and I try to carry myself older too, bro. I just try to move different. I don't try to move like normally the kids around my age move.
Yeah.
But like Kari, like that's really my brother. Like we damn near grew up together. I met his big brother first, Dejan. That's how I really met him. But like shit, we living together right now and shit like that. We really locked in. But yeah, people don't be realizing that we the same age and shit. And Kari, cause Kari younger too. And most people we meet, motherfuckers like, oh y'all like 24, 25 and shit. And you talking about 28. I ain't never heard that one before. I'll take that for sure, though.
Now that I feel like I was once that young kid. I was 19, like starting Waterway. And I was like in the clubs, out and about doing shit. And people were like, bro, you young as fuck. And now I'm about to turn 25. And it's like, damn, like I feel like that's 6 years past when people were telling me I was young. Am I still young? I still feel like I'm, we're all, even if you're in your 20s, even like early 30s, pushing something, you're still pretty young in the grand scheme of the world.
And that beard make you look older too.
Yeah. People have been thinking I was older because of the beard, because I've had it since I was like 19.
Oh God. And that's my situation too a little bit. I know the beard definitely gets some age and shit. And it's definitely we definitely just carry ourselves different, bro. Like it's not too many people that's young, early to mid 20s that's really moving and grooving like we are, bro. And we really putting in the work to do this shit. And like you said, we've been coming up kind of like hand in hand. Like you started this shit around the same time I started making music, and like, I remember when y'all started this shit, and like, cause we just got mutual connections and shit. You know what I'm saying? Me and you probably didn't really lock in till like a year or two ago, but I've known about you since I've done music. I knew about Waterwave. I think y'all had the store since then as well.
Yeah, we opened that up at the end of 2020, so it's been like 3 years with the store.
Yeah, and I mean, I started making music 2019. The shit I dropped with Quin was early 2020. So
you started kind of like right in the middle of COVID then.
Yeah, like right at the beginning. Like the song. So it's funny. I got this funny story. The song I made before I did the shit with Quin, I made it right before all the COVID shit happened, and it was called Ebola.
Whoa.
And because the hook, basically, I said I'm sick like Ebola. And then I'm like, damn, I fucked up. I missed out on a way easy opportunity to say I'm sick like Corona if I just would have waited like 2 months. Would have made it relevant to what was going on at the time.
You would have been the first artist to rap about.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, but yeah.
What were you doing during that, I guess, time period, starting your career, since you couldn't do, like, a lot of concerts and stuff, or really go out and network? It definitely helped that people knew your name from basketball, and being from, actually being from St. Paul, Minneapolis area definitely helps, not being from, like a city from 30, 45 minutes away and trying to build a name in the city.
Hell yeah.
But what were you doing, I guess, during that time period?
Yeah, well, like you said, just growing up in the city, like I just got connections, so that definitely helped. And then when I was starting, I really just started out like I was just doing shit for fun. Like my first studio session was the studio on Pryor, if y'all know where that is, a YP. That was my first studio session. We was just, I just was introduced to him by friends I already knew that made music and shit like that, and I was just doing shit. And then I know how to network and I know how to talk to people. So I just used that to my advantage to basically kickstart my career, like reaching out to the right people, talking to the right people, making the right investments. When I first started, I was kind of just deep into hustling and making money. I wasn't doing shit else but making some money, so I had some side bread and I was able to buy a couple features and shit like that. And basically I feel like I kind of cheated my way to a start, but like looking back, I feel like that's the way to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to music, I wasn't just born with like hella talent. I feel like I worked to be this good. It started off, I was just bored writing raps. Now I can write raps pretty good, but really like I got the respect by doing a song with somebody that other people know. And that's when I realized how the industry works. You know what I'm saying? You kind of have to have that cosign, or you gotta.
Yeah, what feature was that? Like the Suavo feature, or what?
Nah, it was the Quin.
Quin, doing it with Quin.
Quin and NFN, man. Shout out Quin. Like, after that point, everybody just started taking me more serious. I see your shit with Quin, like, oh, you charge for features? Well, like, people hitting me up and asking me what I do and shit like that. And before that point, nobody took me serious. Nobody was really listening to my shit. But that just showed me, like, how the industry works. You know what I'm saying? You just need that cosign. You need somebody cool to tell somebody else that your shit good. You know what I'm saying?
It's like almost like a real business too. Like you put the money up for the advertising and the placements.
Hell yeah. And I didn't just get the feature with Quin. I got the feature with Quin. I got it posted on J Money 1041 YouTube channel. I got a Say Cheese posting. I got a shot by Quin cameraman. We went out there, shot the video. I met Quin. I stayed out there for a week. And it's like that, and I ended up doing other features with other bigger name artists after that. But that experience with Bro was the coolest because we did the first video one day. Nobody knew each other. Motherfuckers was clutching and tensions was a little high, but that's how shit expected. But the second day we shot the second video. After we got done shooting, we kicked it the whole day. We ended up hitting Target, grabbing a basketball, going to the courts, just playing this shit, just chopping it up. He told my ass whenever I'm in Austin, free features. Like we just made a genuine relationship, and that's where I feel like I'm successful because I can make these genuine relationships. You know what I'm saying? I'm more than an artist for real. Like, you know, I was doing the podcast myself. I was doing the radio station. Really lately, I've been trying to get into directing music videos. I directed that one me and Kari just did with the Step Brothers scenes and shit like that. So I'm really trying to just, like, I don't know what I really want to do yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm only 22.
I think that's the beauty in I guess, you know, just like exploring in the entertainment industry.
Hell yeah, there's so much shit going on.
Yeah, and there's maybe not putting too much pressure or expectations on yourself for like, I need to be the most poppin' rapper in my city or whatever. Like, no, like I just want to have some fun with this and figure out where I can fit in. Like,
and I'm gonna be honest, like music doesn't just come to me. I'm not a freestyler. I'm not like I wasn't growing up writing raps my whole life. This is a skill that I feel like I developed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when I say this, people like look at me weird because most rappers are like kind of delusional in their confidence, and I feel like I'm a realist. I don't think my music is any like generational type, I'm gonna be remembered forever type music. I think I make some good headbanging, you know, catchy, good bars ass music, but I don't. Maybe I could be better, but at this point, like, I feel like I got talents way deeper than just being a rapper and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know what I want to do per se. I could use all this buzz that I've gained from being an artist and turn it into a whole different career if I wanted to.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like speaking on it and that kind of on that category is like you have a lot on your plate too. I know your father. I guess how old is your?
He won now.
He's one, so you've been a dad for a year now.
Yeah.
What is it? How is it like before being a dad, now being a dad? How is it like balancing being a dad and trying to be a rapper or any, you know, shooting music videos, directing music? You know what I mean? Like just being a creative in the scene.
For sure. Like I definitely just had more extra money in general before. Like that money's like I bought a house, so my shit getting tied up in bills, mortgage, and taking care of my son. So like at this point, it's not as easy and just like willy-nilly as I used to be. Like I could just drop 300 on promo every day if I felt like it. And that's how I was gaining buzz and shit. Like I was doing Instagram promos. I got Say Cheese posters. Like I was just spending my bread just to, cause I realized like, why do the ass people make it? Cause of marketing, right? I don't think I'm ass. But why does anybody make it? Because of marketing. So I realized like that's the recipe to success is getting your shit seen by the right people and having your shit the right way. So that's why I realized and that's why as an artist I've been kind of feeling like I'm lacking now because I don't have that bread that I used to. But you just got to get creative with it. And like at this point now it's like it's quality over quantity. So because I'm not able to just throw my bread at this shit like I used to be able to, I gotta be real meticulous and like on point with every drop, and it just gotta be right. Because I know my shit is on point, like my the quality of music, but it's so much deeper than the music to be a successful artist.
Yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, a lot of it is promotion.
Yeah,
And
I feel like that's like
people
80% of the shit,
just
bro.
jamming it down to people's throats.
Hell
That
yeah.
They have to just, like, they have to see it.
You have to take it. It got to be catchy. You gotta like it. It got to be sonically pleasing at least. But it really don't get much deeper than that. At some points, we've seen some shit that's real ass make it.
I mean, while we're on the topic of promotion, recently you posted your Cash App.
Man.
Your Cash App, how much you sent to your ex versus, how much you sent back to you. Or
and
whatever.
that's just Cash App.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. I wouldn't even finna, cause motherfuckers was in the comments talking about rookie numbers and shit. Hey, that was just Cash App. Trust me, I was holding shit down. But hey, it get like that, man. When you really love somebody, as a man, I feel like you gotta be the provider. I believe in kind of like the traditional relationship in that aspect. So. It is what it is, you live and learn.
Yeah.
That's my son's mom, so it wasn't like I regretted or anything.
Yeah. No, you didn't say nothing about like I wish I never sent this. You just said
I'm scared to fall in love again.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that shit, man. That shit's an investment. For real, for real. You ever been in love?
Yeah, I'm in love right now.
Are you in love right now? Congratulations, but that shit's scary, bro. That shit definitely scary.
Yeah. No, it's a whole nother like I don't want to say job to make it sound like it's a job, but it's just a whole nother like
it is
block of time.
Relation, all that shit. That's work.
Put every day.
Hell yeah.
Day, you know what I mean?
And that's why I realized like, that's why I'm not rushing into something, because I know like inherently it would take away from what I got going on. Mm-hmm. That's just, relationships require sacrifice and time and shit like that. Yeah. But at the same time, I would rather lock something in now than wait till till I blow up or something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because then at that point, I'm going to feel like that shit ain't genuine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
Like, I was ready to marry my damn BM, but shit ain't work out.
One thing I think is like pretty obvious with you and yourself, and you've mentioned in your music, is you're a white boy in the rap scene. Mm-hmm. How has the perception been from the community in Minneapolis, St. Paul? How well they accepted you in the rap scene? I know you being from here definitely helps, not just being like an outsider coming in.
Yeah.
But how is it being a white rapper in Minneapolis?
Yeah, I mean, just being a white boy has been my whole life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, my friend group has always been a bunch of people that don't look like me. Mm-hmm. And I like that because it's giving me different perspectives on life. And like when I talk to other white people that really haven't had those experiences, like I see the difference. Yeah. And I'm definitely appreciative of the diversity I was opened up to. And I'm glad that I'm accepted by the people that fuck with me, because like you said, that definitely helps a lot. Because I know from the outside, if you didn't know me, if you just saw who I am, what I look like, and the type of shit I say, I know it cringes some people out. People don't like this shit because they don't believe in it. They think it's, ingenuine. They think, taking advantage of somebody else's culture or whatever it may be. And I get all of that to a certain aspect. But I feel like just like most people are, I'm a product of the people I grew up with and where I grew up at. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't much deeper than that. I'm not trying to be, nobody that I'm not. I'm very genuine to myself, and I feel like people pick up on that, and that's why I'm accepted, because I'm not just trying to do too much. Yeah,
you seem, everything you do is very genuine, and it's like it's yourself. It doesn't seem like you're trying to fake it or anything. And I know especially like the Trap Right Cypher, when we went to that, I think, you had a bar, it was something about being white. What was it exactly? The white. It was like.
So basically, I'm gonna try to do the whole A. I said, if I got me a privilege, I might as well use it. No playing the game, it's abuse. It's an unwritten rule that whenever we mic, I'm the only one talking to blue. I don't fuck with police, but I know that my brother might die if you make the wrong move. Basically, what I'm saying is like, I'm definitely more than aware that I am a white person. More than aware that being white comes with a privilege. And the specific situation I was speaking on in that, say I'm with a bunch of my homies and we get mic'd, we get pulled over and shit. I'm already knowing that the police is more comfortable with a white face. So I'm going to step up, be the one talking, be the one handling business and shit like that, in that type of situation. And if it was a flip situation, if we in a situation where my homie feel like he got to step up, I know he would too. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. That's the beauty of, you know, having diversity around. You know, there's pros and cons to every situation. You know what I'm saying? If you got both sides covered, then you better than you was without it.
You know, I feel that. I feel that exactly. One thing that you've done a lot too is you're not scared to, I guess, collab with artists in Minnesota. Like I know, like that's one thing that it's happening a lot more than it used to. Like I know, like in the past 3-4 years that we've been doing Waterwave, but you have a whole tape with Gora, him 1 and him 2. That's like a very interesting collab. I wouldn't have like predicted. But what was your how did you connect with Gora? And
Gora's my engineer and my producer. Okay. Like since I started this shit, really, I met him through Taste Supreme at the house that they used to stay at, and it was just on some genuine. Like we was just kicking it at first. He was sending me beat packs for the dub, and I was just, and then when his beats were the beats I used with Quin, so that's where our relationship really started. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm finna use these beats. I'm about to get this song with Quin. I'm gonna give you your credit. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it started. And then we just been making music. And Gora, man, I always gonna give Gora his flowers. He's probably the most versatile artist I know. Like genuinely speaking, I genuinely listen to his music a lot. So I like his music. I like the versatility in him, and I just wanted to try new shit, try different type of shit. In that album, I definitely try some new sounds out, and it's a little rough to me still. I liked it, so I put it out, but it's just a starting point when it comes to like my different type of sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you got the Dr. Seuss reference in the name, the him 1 and him 2.
Him 1 and him 2.
And then your most recent collab, which will most likely be out by the time this interview comes out, is the Step Brothers collab, another like movie reference with Kari. And I seen the clips you've been posting of like the recreating, the showing off the music video scene. But I like kind of like what you mentioned earlier. You care about directing the videos and like how your product looks. But I guess explain to me you and Kari's relationship as well, and this whole Step Brothers music video and song coming up.
Yeah. I mean, Kari's is my boy. That's just my homie for real. Like that shit. We've been homies before the music shit, and we just happen to. He been making music since we was kids. I mean, just he was one of them kids that's writing raps and rapping in the hallways. Always his own shit. He went to Studio 4. He was making music in high school, so we always knew Kari was gonna get into the music shit. And I just started rapping, and we just like we honestly haven't even. I think we dropped one song. We got a song on the me and Gore's tape with Kari, but like we never even dropped some shit together, but. We just got a genuine relationship. We was just making a song one day. It was a back and forth, and we was just thinking what to do with it. We shot the club scenes before we even decided that we were gonna call it Step Brothers and go with the Step Brothers scenes. So we had this song, we had some video clips, and then I'm like, man, like let's not just keep it the club shit. Like let's do more. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of just both came up with that idea, and then I thought about how to like recreate some specific scenes from the movie to like just really play into the aesthetic of the Step Brothers. I feel like the real reason why I wanted to go with that though is because I had the idea of the cover art first, and I just thought that shit was funny as fuck. And I'm like, man, that's
the cover art's been floating around for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had the idea of the cover art first. I'm like, man, this shit gonna go viral off the cover art. And me and him been talking about it. I think we gonna get it posted on Say Cheese too. I still got that connection and have it where like they have the cover art first, and then you swipe and you see the video or whatever. I feel like that cover art is gonna be an attention grabber for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen like people do it for like memes and like like Christmas cards and shit like that, but I haven't seen it in music form.
Yeah,
Step Brothers stuff.
One of the like. Because we were just thinking of, like, duos to do, and he thought of Dumb and Dumber, and I'm like, Key Glock and Dolph did that. And I'm like, but that's, like, that type of thing we were going for. And then Step Brothers came to mind. I'm like, damn, that worked perfectly, because then we could play it where you get somebody that look like your dad in the video, and somebody that look like my mom. I actually had my mom in the video. That was actually my mom. But yeah, that shit definitely worked out and came together pretty nice. And shout out Turtle, shout out MJR, shout out AO, for helping put that together.
Oh yeah. You mentioned a lot. You've mentioned a lot of Minnesota names, especially even the cameraman you just mentioned. What are some of your favorite things about being an artist from Minnesota right now?
From my experiences, it's a lot of love in the community. Like I be seeing a lot of people talk about all the hate and shit, and there's that too. But I don't see enough people talking about the love. Like I feel like if you're a genuine person, if you're not, getting into unnecessary drama and shit, you getting a lot of love. A lot of people come up to you and respect you. Like almost everywhere I go now, I get recognized and I get my flowers just for being an artist. And that shit's surreal, bro. For real. Like I'd be going through a drive-thru like, ain't you Jack Bentley? Yeah. Oh, man, I fuck with your music, bro. Keep going. I'm like, man, that shit just make my day every fucking time. Like that shit that'll never get old. So I definitely the love here is crazy and it's not talked about enough, I feel like.
And I feel like there's a lot of surface level love in Minnesota, but it's it takes the real underground Minnesota hip hop fan to really actually listen to your full project or stream your music on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that
see your name.
It's kind of funny, in how people say I fuck with your music. People be like, bro, I watched your podcast, bro. They're hard, and I'm just thinking I've been watching all your interviews and be like, I haven't done a podcast in a few months. There's no way you're watching my podcast, or maybe my recent podcast I did a couple weeks ago, I was 50 views or something, just our live stream. I was like, if you're one of those 50 people, I commend you, but I doubt you are. I've never met you. You've never said something. And it's people and I think it's just the idea of they follow you on social media, they see what you're doing, they like it, and they fuck with it because it's something that they can't do, or they're scared to step out of their box and do, or they still just commend you for doing it. But it's are you really listening to my music? Are you really watching my podcast?
That's true, because I ain't never been name 3 songs right now.
Yeah. When people say that to me, when I'm out, when I be at the club, people be like, bro, I fuck with your podcast, and be like, oh, what's your favorite one? And that one time you interviewed whoever, they'll come up with something.
Right.
I'll be like, oh, that's love. Just to see if you at least can, if there's one clip you've seen.
Right.
If there's at least one clip you've seen that you can at least back it up,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
but,
one thing I do.
One thing though, after I did do the cypher, I was getting a lot of people just coming up about the cypher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit definitely.
Those types of things will get you to be like, damn, I fuck with what you got going on, but they might not really know what you got going on. But a
lot of people came up to me like, bro, I didn't know who you were. You cold as hell. And I like doing the cypher because I feel like Trap Rights crowd is kind of the probably the generation before us. Yep. A little old, they got the I'm not gonna say old folks, but they got the older generation. Yeah. So it was cool. We performed it at Gold Room, and I think we even did it at the Skyway.
What show was that? Was that the T Grizzly show, or was that a boot? Was that
we did Tyler.
Tyler.
Yeah, we did Tyler at Skyway. Yeah. We opened up, but then we also just performed at Gold Room too. But it was just I was definitely those few weeks I was getting a lot of love every time I was going out. I was getting a lot of love on the social media too. But I'm definitely appreciative of what Minnesota has to offer. I feel like if you putting in the work, you gonna get what you deserve. A lot of people talk about, they not, they feel like people aren't giving them their flowers or what they deserve. And I feel like people don't realize how much work has to go into it. You can be a great artist, you can be a cool person or whatever it is, but I feel like I get what I get because people have seen what I've sacrificed and put into this shit. I'm not just making songs and posting them. I'm making songs, I'm connecting with artists outside of Minnesota, inside of Minnesota. I'm connected with cameramen outside, inside, producers. You know what I'm saying? I've done shit get my shit posted on channels with million subscribers. Got my shit posted on Say Cheese. it's so much deeper than just making music.
You're doing more than like the average rapper out here,
And
you don't. I feel like you don't. You're not like you don't feel entitled to like people's time or like their love or like their respect. And that's one thing a lot of rappers out here, I think, just have to wrap around their head is that no one owes you anything until you.
And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, most artists I meet, and that's what I meant. Like, most artists I meet are delusional, and there's a benefit to that, like to be blindly faithful in yourself, and like keep pushing. Like, I believe in that, but I'm a very realistic person. I understand that, like, just because I got my own buzz and I got my own thing going on right now, and I feel on top of my little pedestal over here, doesn't mean that this person over here knows anything about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna expect that. But what I do know is like what I'm capable of. So once you do meet me, I know how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? I know that I can spin it and make you fuck with me just as hard as everybody else does. Just because I know how I'm coming as a person.
Yeah, I think being like a good person is step one.
That's
Obviously, you have to have the talent, but like you could be the most talented person, but if you're not a good person, people ain't gonna feel like they want to support you.
Not for real, like, and that's the thing. A lot of artists are very like emotional people. Like, I don't feel like I'm the typical artist.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't grow up making music and shit. Music wasn't my whole life. Like, most people that are successful artists, they've been doing this shit since they were like 7 years old. Like, they live and breathe this shit. And I love music. I've been, listening to music my whole life. My mom was in a band. Like, music is definitely in my life. But it wasn't like my end all be all. It wasn't something I grew up thinking like, oh, I'm finna be an artist, I'm finna be a rapper or whatever it was. But it was something that was very relevant, and that's why I feel like I got a natural affinity for it, for sure. But when it comes to, like, how artists act, I feel like I'm definitely, like, I'm different from them.
Yeah.
But in a good way, and I feel like that's why I make so many good connections, and that's why people fuck with me so much and still look out for me, even though, like, honestly, I haven't dropped in almost a year at this point, and people still fuck with me. Like you said, like, talk about coming up and talking about your podcast and shit. Yeah, I haven't dropped a song in almost a year, and people coming up with me and like, oh, I fuck with your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't dropped in a year.
Yeah.
But shit.
But they just know they fuck with the brand.
They know Jack Bentley, and I love that shit. And I know me and it ain't work out, but shout out Dodie, because he was the one that convinced me to change my name to Jack Bentley. That's my real name. So just embody that image, and I feel like that was a help too, because a lot of people just fuck with Jack Bentley. I hear that a lot. Like, that name is something.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
and that's
saying?
a good ring to it. I was about to ask, that was going to be my next question, is how did you come up with the name, or is it your real name?
Yeah, I was born with
I think
that.
just the name Bentley.
Yeah.
Like that, like, it seems like a rap name, like, as like a beginning or an end to it, like Jack Bentley. Or like, like how, like, I guess, like, Tay Supreme is Tay Supreme.
Yeah.
That's not his real name, but, like, it's just, like, that key word that people can reminisce with after, like, who you are.
Hell yeah.
That's Jack. Jack Bentley. Oh, yeah, Jack Bentley.
Yeah. And, like, when I first started, I went under Bentley Coupe, and I honestly have no explanation for that. I was in the studio the first time, and they were like, what's your rap name? And I was like, just gonna go with Bentley, just Bentley at first. Because I always went by Bentley in school and shit. Like, there was like 4 Jacks in my grade, so I'm like, all right, I'm not finna just call me Bentley. That's better anyways. It's more memorable. So I was just gonna go with that. I ended up going with Bentley Coupe just because it was the first shit that popped in my mind. Cause a lot of people still call me B Coupe, and I feel like people don't know where that's from. So that's where that's from. And then Dodie convinced me to just go from just embody Jack Bentley. Cause I didn't want to do it at first. Cause when I started rapping, Jack Harlow was popping. I'm like, feel like people are gonna instantly gonna group us together, but I'm like, fuck it, I was born with this name, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm biting.
No, I think Jack Bentley's a great artist name.
Yeah.
I think it's good to embody it. Like, obviously, like, if your name just doesn't ring correctly, maybe find a little nickname or something. But if you got a good stage name, like especially like there's a lot of athletes that have like names that you're like, oh, they belong in the NBA.
They were born to
they were born to play in the NBA.
Like LeBron James was never gonna be a worker at Walmart.
Karl Anthony Towns or like I don't know. Again, like there's a bunch of them, but they just all, I guess, and they made that name maybe feel like it's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it definitely rings a bell. Other than Step Brothers, what is like kind of your focus for 2024? Maybe inside the studio and outside the studio. Like, what do you got plans for Jack Bentley?
Really, my goal. I really want to work over this winter. I want to get tatted up. I want to put at least one project, if not two, together and come out next summer. Guns blazing, bunch of music, maybe a little new image, get tatted up, get nice. That's when it comes to the music. Me and Petty K just dropped a video that we shot at Grandpa's Pool House. That was a dope ass shoot and everything. Thick Body B, that's a hit. I made a song with Lauren Banks. We haven't shot that one yet, but I've been working with female artists more too, just trying to expand. And like you said, I ain't scared to collab with people. And I realize the benefit, even if my name is bigger as an artist than some other person, that doesn't mean that I can't, gain 10 fans from them. You know what I'm saying? And I'll take advantage of almost every opportunity to keep pushing this shit out there. And other than that, I'm going to just continue to do me and just keep watching out for me because I'm coming.
Well, it's a pleasure to learn your story. I'm glad we finally got to sit down and chop it up, get to learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
Figured out you're 3 years younger than me, or 2 years right now, but about to be 3 years younger than me. But yeah, check out his social media, all of his streaming platforms, Jack Bentley, Instagram, and all that's on the screen in the description and whatnot. Let us know who else we should get on this show. But other than that, come shop with us at 1521 Como Avenue Southeast, Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we got Jordans, like he's got on right now. This is the first time I moved the camera.
Drip.
Come tap in, man. We got J's, we got vintage, we got designer wear, we got hype. We got whatever you need, really. A bunch of crazy shit at the store. So come shop with us. Come book our studio session. Tap in with Jack Bentley. He got jewels on, man. Real rappers in the building.
This love, though, for sure. What y'all got going on, man. This hot, man. Keep pushing this shit, man.
Like, subscribe, share, and we out. Peace.